What's up, males, females, circles, and squares? Who did you vote for? I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit about that. Today we're talking about, do you even thrift? How much money have I spent on bodybuilding, fitness, this kind of stuff over the past 6 years that I have been lifting? So let's get right into it. The first category is going to be gym memberships. So I would estimate that I've spent roughly $350 US. Obviously, it's an RMB because I live here in China, but I've spent roughly $350 US per year over the past 6 years. So that works out to a total of 2,150 US dollarunos, which is a pretty significant cost compared to the others. Now, obviously, this amount might vary based on where you are. Some places are just naturally cheaper. Here in China, most gyms are fairly expensive compared to everything else. They are more of a luxury product. Fitness is just sort of getting started here. So unless you're living in a tiny hamlet of like 1 or 2 million people, you probably won't be able to find a $5 or $10 per month gym. It's going to be more expensive just because rent is expensive here in China because there are a lot of people. Category 2 is going to be surgeries. Now, for me, this is $0. I've never had any kind of surgeries or any kind of issues like that in the past. I've had some injury issues, but none of them have been so drastic that they require seeing a surgeon. But if you do, this can be a very significant cost. So make sure your technique is good, make sure your loading is appropriate, make sure you're not doing any dumb shit in the gym, like a partner-assisted curl or anything like that. If you can avoid surgery, that is going to be good for your finances as well as just good for your overall health. So try to avoid surgery. A coach can help with this. If you don't have good technique, a catastrophic injury is going to be much more likely. So try to avoid that at all costs. No pun intended. Number 3 is going to be supplements. I would estimate that I've spent about $480 per year on supplements. I don't actually have a lot of supplements that I've used. I've used fish oil in the past. I've used a multivitamin. Right now I'm using Mega Men 100% natural. I don't know why it has to say 100% natural. Of course, it's not taking steroids, obviously. How would the pills even inject steroids into themselves? Duh. I also take chocolate casein protein powder. I don't take whey anymore. I don't take creatine anymore. When I took creatine, I noticed pretty significant hair loss, like expanding outward from the center of my skull. Even my wife noticed it, so I don't take that anymore. So basically, all I take on a regular basis right now is casein, and that is roughly, I would say, $480 per year, maybe a little bit less. It sort of varies. And that is for 4 years, because the first 2 years, I didn't take any supplements at all. I didn't even know supplements existed, and I got pretty good results. So I would say for most people, supplements aren't 100% necessary, but they can help make your life more convenient. Plus, I like to put this in my coffee. It tastes really good, and it's just a convenient and fast way to get protein in the start of the day. So I don't like having to go cook up anything. Even eggs takes too much time. I'm working 80 to 100 hours per week, and I just don't want to spend that time when I could be spending it on other stuff. Next up, we have gear. Now, not that kind of gear, a different kind of gear, like straps, lifting belt, lifting shoes, any kind of like accessories that you might use in the gym. For me, I would estimate that I've spent about $5 per year on lifting accessories. So I lift without a belt, I lift without squat shoes, I lift without knee sleeves or wraps or straps or anything like that. I have bought straps a couple of times. Apparently, I'm too stupid to get them to work, so I don't even like use them. I bought them a couple of times and tried and just failed miserably. Might be an intelligence issue. Yeah, I'm gonna try to talk to the guy upstairs, talk to my manager, and see if I can get him to make it work. But as of now, I don't use any kind of gear whatsoever. I lift totally 100% raw. Next up, we have the other kind of gear. Steroids. So this is a big fat 0 for me. Obviously, I am 100% natural. I've never taken steroids or any kind of testosterone or any kind of growth hormone or anything like that. This could be a fair amount of money, I think, for some people. It depends, obviously, on the compound, on the amount, on how often you use it, how many years you use it. If you take growth hormone, I've heard that's expensive. Last I checked with my supplier. I'm just fucking with you. But, you know, this could be a few hundred. This could be a few $1,000s per year. I'm just not 100% sure. But it is definitely a significant cost if you want to go down that road. All right, number 6, we have clothing. So if you want to work out, it might be helpful to have some special workout clothing, which can help you work out more better. And honestly, I spend almost nothing on clothing. I penciled this in at $100 per year. That might even be high. Occasionally my wife buys me clothing. I think she just likes shopping. And so she's like, honey, do you need any workout clothes? And I'm like, no. And she's like, okay, I'll buy you some. Okay. So I don't really personally spend a lot or anything on clothes. Clearly, I got this for free actually from it's reverse, but anonymous. But so I got this actually for free from a photo shoot. But honestly, clothing isn't a big cost. You can buy like Under Armour clothing and Nike clothing, and you can spend a shitload of money on clothing, but just know that it is sort of a waste of money. It's not actually going to help your progress in the gym. And if you think a fucking Under Armour compression tank top or whatever is going to help you lift more weight or get better results, you are kidding yourself. It is a fashion statement, nothing more. Next, we have laundry. So this is obviously a pretty minor cost, but it is a cost nevertheless. If you work out, you're going to need to do more laundry and more frequent laundry on a regular basis, just because you are dirtying or sweatifying your clothes more often. Pretty simple. I penciled this in at $20 per year. That might be high, I don't know. So a total of $120 for laundry. And if you don't want to spend the money on this, you are a dirty motherfucker. Next, we have food. So I spend probably an extra $4 per day on food. I don't know, this could be wrong, it's just an estimation. And 4 times 365 is 1460, times 6 is going to be $8,760 on extra food. And this was to grow the 20 plus kilos of muscle that I have gained. I went from 68 kilos and now I am low to mid 90 kilos. So obviously that muscle mass needs fueling. It doesn't just unevaporate from the atmosphere and appear after you work out. You have to eat to grow. If you want to gain muscle, you need to be eating extra food, but not so much that you get fat. You know, if you're bulking and you're getting fat, you know, you're eating tons more food, I think for most people that's going to be counterproductive. So for most people, I don't know, it depends. You can actually lower this quite a bit if you buy cheap food and just supplement with like white rice or, you know, canned tuna or something like that. But for most people, it's going to be a significant cost. And I think for a lot of people, they underestimate this cost. Because it is every day, it is in these small increments, they don't actually realize how much it adds up to. But as you can see, $4 per day over 6 years is roughly $9,000. So it does add up over time. It is the bucket effect. Slow drips of water slowly fill up a bucket. You don't notice it, but it gets full over time. Next, we have blood work. So I don't really take blood work on a regular basis. I do get it every year when I have my physical for my visa. I just got it and everything is pretty normal. My heart rate is pretty low because I used to be a runner. Other than that, everything is basically normal. But if you're taking anabolics or if you have some kind of other health issues or if you're over maybe 50 or 60 years old, I would say regular blood work is going to be a must. But this isn't really an addition because you are doing weight training. It's probably something that you should be doing anyway. So it's not really an added cost. It's something that should already be happening. Number 10, we have a trainer or coach. Now, I have spent $0 on coaching and things have turned out pretty well. I've learned a lot, but I think I could have saved time if in the first year or two, I actually could have improved my technique, learned more about programming, and not wasted so much fucking time. I think I did waste a lot of time experimenting with stupid stuff or, you know, silly exercises, this circus trick, party trick training that a lot of people put out on the internet. You know who I'm talking about, right? So if I could go back in time and I couldn't train myself through the time machine, I'd just be like, get a coach, you fucking idiot. Something like that. And that would save a lot of time and probably money as well. The trick is finding a good coach because a lot of coaches aren't very good, especially online. If you just see someone with abs on the internet, that's probably not a good coach to have. You know, don't base your coach based on what they look like. Try to actually get a deeper understanding of where they are at mentally and how they can actually help you. Next, we have other costs. So these are hidden costs, costs that are not just financial. So your time. When you go to the gym, that's time that you could be spending on other stuff. It could be social events, it could be business, you could be making money, you could be hanging out with friends, you could be drinking socially, whatever it is, that time at the gym is actually time that could be spent somewhere else. So I would estimate this probably is about 1 to 2 hours per day, maybe even 3 hours when you count like walking to the gym, when you count doing your workout, when you count coming back, when you count getting food, when you count everything, when you count like researching about training, etc. That all adds up and it costs a significant amount of time. Time is money, so that is a sort of cost. Also, energy and effort. This stuff isn't easy. After you come back from a hard full body or lower body session, you're kind of messed up. Okay, it's hard to get work done. You just have less energy. If my wife wants to like go out on a Friday night, I've noticed that if I squatted or deadlifted that day, I don't want to move. Like, I don't want to go to a bar or a club or do any of that kind of stuff after I had a hard workout. And that, again, is a hidden cost. So it can affect your relationships. It can affect, other areas of your life. And you need to realize this. It's not a financial cost, but it is still a very important cost that you should keep in mind. But that is really hard to measure, so I'm not going to include it in the total. The total, drum roll, hope I don't break my desk, is $13,580, or roughly $6.20 per day. Now, obviously, this can be super high. This can be way higher than this if you really want to. Why is my camera like this? If you really want to spike that up, you can get like personal nutritionist, personal coach. You can get a bunch of supplements. You can buy an expensive membership at a super expensive gym that is not really necessary. You can buy your own stuff. You can buy your own equipment. You can have a home gym. You can buy a whole bunch of stuff, but it won't really help your progress. Clearly. Okay, so I don't think it's really necessary. I'll straighten the camera for those who have OCD. But, you can spend a little bit of money. You can spend a lot of money. Whatever is up to you. It is your own personal journey and it's your personal choice. If you choose like calisthenics, if you don't eat a ton of food, if you don't take steroids, if you don't have a coach, you can get by on very, very little money. So I would say you can spend as little or as much as you want to. So there you have it, $6.20 per day. Let me know in the comments below, do you think you spend more or less on fitness than I do? All right, that is all for this video. Make sure to like the video. It probably helps as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already for some very strange reason. Turn notifications on so you never miss one of these dope-ass videos, and I will see you in that next video. Peace! Yeah, I was just wondering if there was a cheaper source for the GH, because I've been paying $70 per IU over the past few years. And I'm just doing some research for a video, so... Okay, that's a good price then. All right, cool. I'll call you back.